they took me, without calling anybody else, to a part of the jail called segregation. It's just another name for solitary. It's not a nice place. It's not what you think. It's not what you see like in Alcatraz. It's not like that. It's just your average 5x8 cell with a bed, a toilet sink combo, and a small table. No windows. And the light stays on all the time. I mean, when you think of solitary, you think of just a dark room where you have no light. But this was worse. The light was on 24/7. And you're by yourself with no windows. Just a little slot in the door. And that's how you tell time. When they bring your lunch, when they bring your breakfast or dinner, you can kind of tell what time it is. First, an officer goes down the row of cells, and you hear him start unlocking each one of the slots. As he goes down, he unlocks all of them. He unlocks it, bam! The slot opens up. The slot is about 4 inches high by about 18 inches wide. Just big enough for a tray to come through. So he goes down the row and unlocks each one of the slots, and the big door, metal door, slams open. Then comes another officer with the cart with all the trays on it, and they shove the trays through the slot, and you got to be there to catch it. And they leave the slot open while you eat, and they come back to check on you in about 10 or 15 minutes. And in that time, you eat real fast, and then you go and you crouch by the slot, and everybody's crouching by the slot. And that's when you can socialize. Everybody asks, "Who's the new guy? What are you here for?" "Welcome." Then the guards come and they take the empty trays, and then another guard comes through and locks all the slots up, and then you're by yourself again. In solitary. Just laying in bed staring at the ceiling. I was like that for 1 month. I scoured every inch of that cell, and under the bed, way in the back, the dust and the dirt and the spit on the walls and the sperm, dried sperm on the walls, and piss, boogers wiped on the walls. I saw a little plastic ball, and I got down and I grabbed it, and it was the ball from a deodorant, from a roll-on deodorant, a little plastic ball. And I found a little piece of black tar. It was caulking around the door, and I scraped up enough of it. I had a little booger size, and then I saved one of my milk containers from my lunch, and I cut out the top and I cut out the bottom, and I took that little piece of tar and I stuck the square on the wall, and then I would use the ball and I would bounce it until I made a basket. And that's how I kept myself busy. I would see how many times I could do it, how far away I could get in the cell, as far as I could get. and bounce it. Then I would try to bank it off the wall. Then I would try a double bank. And I would do it over and over again. One of the meals when the door slot opened up and we were socializing after eating, one of the guys was asking me what that bouncing was. What was I doing in there? What did I have? And I told him my little thing, what I had. And he said he had a book. And do I want to trade? And it took a couple different guards during a couple days of meals before we got the right guard that exchanged my little basketball setup for a Reader's Digest. And I read every single letter of that Reader's Digest, the date, the copyright, all the table of contents from cover to cover. Once I had the Reader's Digest, that was currency. Then I could trade it for other reading material. And there was times that the guys left and you would get the right guard that would allow them to gift you, to give you the gift of all the books in their cell. So those times I would get 2 or 3 books at a time from other guys that were leaving. I mean, there was guys that were in solitary segregation for a long time. I was in there for 30 days. 30 days, no television, no music. Sitting in segregation.